Hello everyone, Praise Scooter here, and welcome back to more of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Last time, we took the road to the Ancient Lab, and now, starting out here, we're going to do some more of the, I'll be blunt with you and right front with you, a little more of the boring stuff before we get back into the combat stuff. This is an action RPG after all, so let's do some of the RPG stuff before we get back to the action. First things first, one of the most important things you will want to be using in this game is the Hylian Blacksmith. Hylian, however you want to say it, I'm going to probably interchange it myself, just know that, and it's going to be a problem. So, the Hylian Blacksmith is how you'll be able to increase the power of your weapons. So starting out here, for Link, I'm going to tell you for a little while to, yes, invest in some things for Link, but some stuff that has boons you want to use, don't save them for another item you will get in the future. But for right now, power up your favorite weapon by selecting it, and then cram up to 5 of a weapon you want to use into it. This will make the weapon's attack power increase, and if we can get to it there, let's see. I'm trying to use ones that don't have boons on it. Once you get a weapon to a multiple of 5, and I'll talk more about beyond to level 20 when we get to that point. When a weapon gets to a multiple of 5, the first emblem you put towards a leveling up a weapon will be added to the weapon. Using weapons that have similar seals will actually increase both of the emblem's powers. As you can see here, something here that basically increases Link's defensive capabilities will increase his defensive output exponentially. I guess this one's technically more offensive, but you get it. Let's see. So I'm trying to find one that would. Sure, we'll give him more attack range, and I still have one more weapon to use. So let's just go for my strongest weapon. Otherwise, actually, is this regular attack power? Yeah, regular attack damage up. Let's do that. Even though, even though it doesn't have a boon. Actually, no, I changed my mind. Let's go back to the attack range up. So, this does cost money to do, so while I will tell you, please do it, don't go crazy. Until we get to a certain side quest, money is somewhat limited. But, for right now, take each of your characters and have them power up their weapon that you want to use for them at least once. If a character has a weapon you would prefer for them to use while you're in this menu, you can simply press the X button to change over to that weapon. Like, as much as I would like to give Impa more attack speed right now, there is a way to get that on this weapon. So let's just put in some of the the Kodachis that don't have any emblems on it, and then for this one, we want to do it. So, and I want to make sure I draw this point here. So I'm going to use the one with attack speed right away, and then a few of the other ones. Like I said, the first emblem you try to equip to somebody or try to fuse into a weapon and then continue to fuse it up to level 5, the first emblem you put towards that level up will count. So, say for example, we managed to get, enough experience on a weapon to get that weapon's biggest boon to have it go up to level 10. If I had put this normal attack emblem up on it, what would happen is that emblem would then be the second emblem added to it. So I'm going to do this for everybody. Just give them a powered up weapon. Fuse 5 weapons into it once. Zelda... This is oddly enough the most powerful. And I would like to give Zelda more experience because even though she is useful, she kind of falls off for me in personal playthrough style. Or how I personally play the game, so that's just unfortunate. Now, I'm actually going to leave that healing item drop rate off because that's actually a very bad emblem in my opinion. Oh my god, I've been playing this game for so long I just realized it. So what dictates if you will get an additional boon to each emblem's properties is the type of symbol on it. So like this is a circle and a hexagon type emblem. If they were both hexagons, they would both get boosted. But because they're different, they do not get a boost off each other. So let's just fuse this. So Zelda at least has a decent weapon. And there's that. And that is a rough thing. That is how you fuse with the Blacksmith. There will be more things for him. But I also mentioned that anything you don't plan to hold on to for any reason for a character, do sell. The selling aspect of it is minuscule in comparison, but you also have limited items you can use. So if you're not going to use an item, oh, well, actually, let me thumb back over these, make sure. Okay, yeah. If you're not going to use a weapon, go ahead and sell it. Because even though the returns are minuscule, there are at least returns on weaponry, or on money. So there's that. We have done the Blacksmith. Now, the next part we're going to go into is shops. There are two different types of shops, as I mentioned last time. We have the shops like this, which have a horse on it, and a shop like this, which has a pot on it. Shops that have a horse on it, the merchants will rotate between every mission you complete. So as this mushroom sales lady is here right now, next time we complete any mission, main or side quest, she may not be here next time, but the person that would normally be here may show up here instead. The ones with the pots are static shops that will always be open no matter what.
Yeah.
Now for a little bit here, I'm going to, just to help you along, I'm going to request you pick up cane sugar. Every time you come to a shop and you buy out their product, every time you finish a mission and come back to a shop that is a stationary shop, they will restock all of their wares, meaning you can buy it again. There are going to be some missions, there are going to be some shops later on I'm going to note specifically and tell you buy all of X from this shop every single time you finish a mission. And it will become pertinent Y as we get later in the game. Buying them now to invest in your future success. But for all shops, you can sell items you don't think you will need much of anymore. I'm going to tell you until pretty much the very end of the game. Like we're talking, you're going up against the big bad of this game. Until that point, sell nothing from here. Sell all 0 things. Maybe sell your gems if you're in a tight spot. But again, if you're going to do that, don't sell a lot of them. Be vigilant. Do not sell. Oh, when do we... Wow, I got 2 giant ancient cores. Neat. And lastly, before we jump into a side quest, the Royal Ancient Lab. This is DLC stuff, but I'm going to rope this in here because we are going to visit the DLC down the line. But we are going to want to make sure we tackle this. Okay, I have a moment to talk. We're going to want to make sure we tackle some of the quests in here because I went through the pain of doing this as I was playing, and the grinding that was necessary just hurt me in the end.
The data we obtained from the time-traveling Guardian was most auspicious. Yes. Though it's bittersweet seeing years of research become outdated in a matter of days.
Please! I think it's great. If all goes to plan, our research will be unstoppable.
But we don't have the manpower to progress our research. Defeating the Calamity comes first.
So, Linky will help us. You do want to see our amazing inventions, right? Right?
Yes, it could produce some useful items for battle. It will be mutually beneficial, I dare say.
Anyway, you can work out the details as you go. It'll be worth it, promise. Now make it snappy.
And with that, we have actually seen the first of these things light up. So I'm going to turn this on because this will just help us in the long run to collect these research papers. We don't have to do them. We do not have to focus on this right now, though unlocking the ability to collect research papers will help us towards unlocking more of these, well, everything. That's a lot of things we can't do now. But we want to make note of certain... We don't know what that is, so we haven't even unlocked it to start with. we do want to make note of certain things, because as time comes along, we're going to want to jump back in here occasionally to go, oh, I can complete this of this. It's basically another series of supply-based quests that you can complete throughout the game that aren't on the overworld map.
Don't be a stranger.
Which I never did call it until now, but I guess you can kind of call these supply-based quests. I may rope them in and sometimes call them side quests. They're interchangeable. That's just going to happen. Now, I've yammered on and on about the more technical aspects of this game for goodness knows how long. We should probably get into actual combat and side quests. So, let's start with this side quest. Now, there is nothing of importance here to note for collection. Just know that you have to complete the mission. Made the stair into a nest. Make the area safe game by defeating these scaly foes. I will try my best to make sure I read a side quest information, because it helps you, the player, and it should also help me, the guy who's doing the walkthrough, to make sure I complete the quest as requested. Now, for these quests, you can use anybody you want. You can use any character you want in the game, up to as many slots as available. But it recommends any character level 5 and greater. And Link is the only character at that level, so it's going to be the Link show once again. And unfortunately, we haven't unlocked any funny outfits for Link, so we're just going to have to roll with what we got here. Onward to battle! So with these side quests, there is no cutscene, there is no introduction, there is no other introduction. If you want to read some story behind it, you do have to read the side quest blurb by hitting X before you accept the mission. And I want you to keep note of those numbers down in the lower left corner, just for completion's sake. The Swords Cross is a main story mission. The Sword Singular is a side quest mission. And those text bubbles are basically the supply-based quests, or yeah, you get what I mean. Basically, everything that's not a combat quest will fall into that category. So if you're following along and you're missing something on that counter, don't panic. Just know that what you're doing won't directly line up with what I'm doing. Anyway, this is gonna be a pretty simple mission. It's basically, this is kind of part of like some of these missions of just defeat X amount of enemies within a certain amount of time. Which, hey, this is gonna be perfect for us, because we do have to get a bunch of Lizalfos trophies, and I will tell you that I may do this mission. Off camera. Okay, hold on. I may do this mission off camera once or twice, because Lizalfos trophies are very much needed and are a very high commodity. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a thing to blow up, and I also can't mess around because I am on a time limit. And someone tells me I didn't get anything from that. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I am very much missing my additional attacks right now. Give me the big crate, give me the big crate, big crate. So, I will say that, like, I understand, like, if you're watching the series at this point, like, keep in mind, I record stuff really far in advance, so I can't see everything that's going on. But if you are watching the series up to this point, or if you are watching the series and are interested in Warriors-style games, do know that they are fun. But even as somebody who is a fan of the series, I will also be one of the first ones to admit, it's a lot of mashing. It is just a metric ton of mashing. Mindless mashing that doesn't really that gives your mind some time to wander, but also doesn't really, like, challenge you, if that makes sense. Like, it kind of challenges you a little bit, but yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that sometimes you're gonna need to just deal with the fact that you will be mashing a button constantly. Anyway, we've defeated almost 200 enemies. Oh, yes, I was supposed to say 250 enemies. Thanks for hitting me mid-combo. So I'm going to come back to the dirt road to make sure I hit all, get all the enemies. Even though I don't think we're on like any kind of like very strict time limit. Enemies can respawn, but sometimes they don't respawn. Sometimes there are literally a finite number of enemies. So if you don't defeat every enemy on the minimap, you don't finish the mission. That's not the case always, but I will say that there's a handful of missions that are going to be like this, that are like, hey, there are 305 enemies on the map. Defeat 300. That does happen. Anyway, with that side quest done, and a couple more weapons, and that'll handle it. Okay, so the thing we unlocked from the Ancient Lab, these battle records, they're going to be useful overall. So I wanted to activate them now because they will be important not only for basic battle completion, but also for defeating stronger foes in our adventure. There are many types of these battle records. We're going to want all of them. And I will tell you, if you need to grind them, I will show you a way to grind them later on in the game. But because I did a lot of explanation today, we'll do the other side quest that's available right now, barring there's nothing else we can do for a supply-based quest. Well, even then, that'll pop at the end. I should say, unless another side quest pops up, we will do all the side quests available to us at this time. Okay, a gallery has been updated. Now, as much as I would like to get more combo for Link... Oh, that is actually really tempting. Let's actually do the other side quest first. So, mastering the remote bomb. Now, we do have access to other characters, and of the 3 characters we have more, personally, it is how you see them displayed here is the order in which I prefer to use these characters.
It will be my honor.
So let's use Impa, who is level 4, and get a better understanding of the remote bombs. Master the use of remote bombs and defeat the monsters. Oh, also, it isn't. I guess we can't mouse over, but those crystals, which I glanced over it, they're called ethereal shards. You get one for completing each side quest in the game. To fully max out every character's stats, you will need all of those. Everything has been meticulously crafted in this game to make sure that you use every single make sure that you have every single ethereal shard to max out every single character. So 100% in this game is very much a hot ticket commodity and item. Am I using buzzwords to try and make my point more relevant? Yes. Am I going to be rewarded for admitting my shortcomings? Nope. Take a big swig. That was choke on it. Help. Okay. So we are getting to this point in the game. We are going to start getting to this point in the game now where I'm allowed to kind of like ramble a little bit. Now, this one does say to use remote bombs and understand the remote bombs. Although you don't need to use the remote bombs specifically to defeat enemies. Maybe you do. Alright, let's drop it here. Hey, look at that. We leveled up. Let's go ahead and just defeat some... Okay, I guess you don't have to use remote bombs here. It just helps. But yeah, now Impa attacks faster, and her clones, and she does generate... And because she's attacking faster with all these clones, she generates special gauge really fast. And if you think she generates special gauge fast now, you have seen nothing yet. Tell me that's 10? That is not 10. Okay, let me make sure I get all this revved up. Now, this is how these missions usually end like this. Let's have you a very specific thing you want to go at. That have like a very specific goal at the end of it is that you usually will defeat X enemies or X amount of enemies, and then it'll either finish with a big confrontation with a big enemy or taking over a fort. Me, I'm kind of steamrolling this one a little bit. Again, I'm on hard. I am like teetering and bumping this up to very hard already, but I'm just gonna stick with hard for now. There we go. And now we just do this. And hey, none of that now. Come here. Death by 1,000 cuts. Oh, I didn't use a special. Oops. Oh, never mind. There's another large enemy here. Where is it? And what is it? Oh, it's a Wizrobe. As you can see by the fact that we're just mashing the Y button and we have a special, you know, again, this is the gameplay loop I would recommend for Impa. You can play Impa however you want. This is the way I'm going to recommend you do it. You know what? This seems appropriate. Kaboom indeed. You magical wretch. I love it. Anyway. We actually leveled up in that mission too. I think she might level up again. Yep. Ooh. Okay. I was about to say we're going to go on to like selling stuff, but that's actually something important. Okay, this ethereal stone. Again, this is very important towards completion. Make sure you do every side quest to get these to fully power up your characters. But yes, high resale value weapons. I get to go back to the blacksmith and talk about this a little bit. I'm going to do this now because this is all side quest stuff, and I'm going to make sure that the next video is dedicated entirely to a main story quest, barring any side quests don't show up first. Hey, you. Well, that's going to have to be saved for next time, but because it's on the topic, let's talk about a side quest thing. And next video may just be a short video, depending on what happens. So, if a weapon you acquire has a high resale value and you go to sell it, it will have a star next to it on this when you're on the selling page here to say, hey, that sells for a lot of money. These weapons that you get are only meant to be sold for. They don't get more damage because they have high resale value. They don't get anything else for that. They're literally, to put into Pokemon terms, they're literally your golden nuggets or your stardust of this game. That's it. They have no other practical use. Anyway. Let's actually save these for next time so I can pad out the episode a little bit next time. But next time on Age of Calamity, we'll go to this side quest here, which, okay. We'll go to that side quest there, and then we'll see if anything else pops up and do any of the other supply-based quests, and maybe a shorter episode. I'll see you folks next time. Take care.